We'll just wait to see if we can get one live viewer on, and then we'll do our presentation. Just getting the channel up. It's good to get the channel up and see what people are saying, good and bad. Well, we've got two people now. Thanks for joining. Not quite sure sometimes how YouTube does it. 5 live viewers. I don't know if there's 5 live viewers. How many people watch it back later? I'm not quite sure. But anyway, welcome to Saturday Morning Live with Johnyboy, supported by the guys from ITS, where you can get your tools 7 days a week. And if you order before 7, you can get your tools delivered to site or to your home. So thank you, ITS, for that. Yeah, one like. We've got one like. I've just got back Saturday morning. Always go for Alison and I always go for a walk Saturday morning. We generally walk every day. Alison does with the dogs, but certainly on a Saturday morning I get out and about. It was great getting out at the moment and seeing the leaf change on the trees. The colour is absolutely unbelievable, and the leaves seem to be holding on the trees that little bit longer at the moment. Good morning, Henry Flint. Good to see you, bud. Great chatting to you the other day. I need to get my glasses on. Are these my glasses? Yeah, they are my glasses. So have a look now. Just read some of the... Actually, I remembered that what I can actually do, and things are going to be changing in here very, very soon. We'll be able to watch... How do I see that now? How do I see what's going on? And there we are. I can watch the live stream going on. And there we are, the live stream. I can actually see people's comments, I believe, on there. Got it. There we are. There's... well, this is what we've been working on. John Rutherford's, good morning, John. You will be having your little gift, but we're just waiting for the T-shirts at the moment. There's a shortage of T-shirts supplies. John Fullerton said, John, where are you from? I can't remember seeing you on here before. Henry Flint, our mate there from Elite Stone Tools. Sick of Lies. Some of these names, isn't it? It's almost like the names years ago with the CVers when they had a handle. David Graham, good morning. How you going? I'm going to just respond, and this is what we got to do now. I'm going to respond to all of you just because I can, and I want to see my comment as well on there, going up there. Well, look, normally we'd have Andy Kellum, who is been following us on YouTube for some time, and Glasgow, mate, I was a couple of weeks ago. Cheers, John. Thanks very much. As you can imagine, we get a lot of people on this channel joining us at different times, and there's so many people. Kuram's on here, Kuram Chari. Good morning, bud. How's it going? John Roberts, good morning. John Ward. Oh, you can see. John, good morning. How are you, mate? Good to see you. Alison's well. She's actually dealing with the dogs at the moment. We just got back from a walk. Darren Ricks says, good morning, fellas. That's what it's about. It's about people coming on here, all having a chat. I wonder, look, I'm just learning now, and I want you just to bear with me at the moment. Working 3 weekend again, mate. Not happy. No, the 3rd weekend. John, it's... do you know, mate, I actually been enjoying these live streams now simply because I can come on here and I can have a chat and talk to people and learn what's been going on, see what other people have actually been doing. Just get rid of that, sorry. And I want to know from you what you've been doing. John Ward says he's been with us his 3rd weekend. Missed the last few weeks, but rained off today. Sick of lies. Do you know... We don't want to just call you Sick of Lies. We want to know your name, bud. We want to know who we're talking to. Yeah, the rain just this week has been absolutely awful. Yeah, absolutely love the chat, mate. No, John, I promised I'd give you a ring, and I will give you a ring. Steve, Sick of Lies. Thank you very much for that, Steve. Do you know, I do apologise if I forget who everyone is. As you can imagine, this channel generates a lot of activity, and that's because of you guys and girls that all want to get involved in what we're doing and what we're sharing and what we're talking about. I've got so much on today, so much to do. and I need the weekends. Years ago, we always worked a Saturday, and even if it was just 12 o'clock, we always worked a Saturday on the groundworks many years ago up in Essex, in Worcester, where I live in Worcester, always. John Ward says, yeah, absolutely love the chat, mate. Think we would be used to the rain, lads. Yeah, absolutely. You think you would be used to the rain. Do you know, John, I'm going to see if I can... I want to see if I can respond to some of the things. Right, this is how John Ward's doing it. Because every week John Ward comes on here and he gets those little caricatures on there, those little emojis, I should say, rather. So I'm going to... This is for John Ward now. There you are. YouTube for John Ward there. Hacken and Becker. Morning, Johnyboy. Any recommendations for chip repairs on porcelain slabs? Ceramic paste. Do you know, that is an absolutely... Chris, that is... John Ward, what do you actually think? Rob Fryer is on there. Good morning, Johnyboy and Alison. Yeah, look, there's lots of things to talk about, but Chris says... What a name as well. Chris says, Hacken Becker... He says, about chips, what can we do about the chips, John Ward, on porcelain? What can we do about it? John Ward says, yeah, I always work Saturday, but not on the tools, mate. I'm knackered, lol. Back to the office Monday. Yeah, Joe, John, it's our age. We can't do it like we used to. Yesterday, I'm going to get back to you now in a moment, Chris, but yesterday, I've got a log burner, and they've been doing some tree work locally down by me. And before all the other magpies turned up, I got there and I was able to fill my van with some logs, and I will split it down, I will cut it, and they will be dry. We don't want to sort of have the impact on the ozone with all that burning. As long as it's well seasoned, there is laws coming in about what you can burn now. But Chris says, what can we do about the chips on porcelain? That is a massive, fantastic point there. What can we do about the chips? Because invariably it does happen, and sometimes they may be only a little bit and you won't notice it because of the pattern. But what can we do about the chips? Sick of Lies says, I feel there not a lot you can do about chips. Matching is next to impossible. Yeah, it is. I think it's... Let me just have a little sip of my tea at the moment. I think that's an absolutely good point. We got Alison on here as well at the moment. She's supposed to be going off to getting some bread so we can have a little bit of breakfast. 3 weekends in a row, John. Rob Fryer, good morning, says Alison. Yeah, what can we do about the chips? It's an interesting thing. I wonder if we could approach a porcelain company and ask them what they suggest about doing about the chips. And that's why with porcelain, it's almost like having a ware cup, right, and having a china cup, a porcelain cup. And the porcelain is stronger, but it has a tendency to chip.
Just need someone phoning in.
There's someone phoning in?
Someone.
Sorry?
Someone phoning in. You said you wanted my phone?
No one's phoning in, but I wanted it just in case. Oh, it's got...
Give me the speaker.
Oh, right.
The speaker.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Just unplug it.
There you go. Debbie Media. Shane O.D. Landscape Limited. Long time no see, John. Hope you are keeping well. Oh, well, there's a surprise. Morning, Shane O.D. Yeah, there we are. 22 live viewers. Got Debbie McGee just come in now, and she's trying to get the phone hooked up because we've been out walking, and we want to make sure that if there is any callers in, if anybody wants to call in this morning, I apologise for but this is what it's all about, isn't it? It's natural and it's not orchestrated in any way. It's organic, what we do on this channel. So, as I was saying, we were talking about porcelain. Henry Flint says, never looks the same. It's coming up later on here than what it is on there. Henry Flint says, never looks the same if filled. Spin the chip back or replace it. Spin... What does Henry say there? So everybody's reading it and work out what Henry's saying there. Never looks the same. If filled, spin the chip back or replace. Thank you. Debbie McGee was in here and she's going now. I don't... Do I need to plug that in the phone or no?
No, it's connected.
Oh, yes, on the Wi-Fi. So thank you. So thank you very much for that. So if you want to call in this morning, the number is 07795 664 002. Just going to repeat the number now. If you want to call in this morning and have a chat with me and tell me what you're actually thinking, the number is 07795 664 002, and you can have a chat and talk about anything landscaping or anything you like to talk about. It's no problem at all. Chris England, good morning. John Fullerton says, I'm too fussy for that. For me, if possible, it would be better just replacing a chip one with a new one. Yeah, absolutely. It can be an absolute nightmare. Just going to read what our Jaffa says there. Jaffa Baluta. Hi, Johnny. It's Rami. Ignore the alias we spoke about a month ago. Thank you for the advice and help. Got my mum's patio finished. Looks great. Bless you, bud. No, Jaff, listen, bless you. I'm glad you've done it. I'm glad that is your mum happy with it? Does it look good? It'd be great for you to share a picture. Drop me something on WhatsApp. My number is 07795 595 994. Jaff, I want to see if you've got my number or if you want to drop me an email. It's great to see what you guys are doing. So important that you share what you're doing because we want to see. I'm really interested. I don't just want to talk to you on here. Jaff says, we spoke about a month ago. Thank you for the advice and help. Got my mum's patio finished. It looks great. Bless you, bud. No, bless you. Rob Fryer says, always keep spares in ambush just in case of damage of chips. Yeah, how much do you allow, John Ward? What do you actually think? Rob, what do you actually think? How much should we allow? Alison speaking to Jack. I like that. That's absolutely brilliant. We're going to give a little love art and a caring love art for our Jaffa there and for his mum. There you are. That's what we can do now. There we are. Lee Andy, good morning, mate. Hope all is well. Lee from Handy Groundworks in Liverpool. And this is what happens if you're a consumer across the country and you are actually need of some help or looking for some advice. It's not just me. There are landscapers galore on this group. Sorry, stonemasonry term, spin and sand with cleaning blade or silicon carbide pads. Do you know, this channel is absolutely brilliant. There we are, Henry Flynn. I'm going to read what he said. We had a reference to what we can do about porcelain chips. And Henry said, sorry, stonemasonry term, spin and sand with a cleaning blade or a silicon carbide pad. There you are. It's all the technical stuff. And that's why this channel actually works, because the information is on here and it's available. John Ward says 10% at Keast. On any material, boys, over order or you'll be in trouble in Finland. Yeah, absolutely. Jamie Fords, good morning, bud. How are you going, Jamie? It's good. We got a few coming on here now at the moment. There we are. They're all joining. The big LFB. Morning, JB. Listen, guys, I got to say, I'm going to read what everybody, we're talking about these things at the moment, but we got stuff to give away, right? It's here. I got to give the toolbox, and I've got the emails. I haven't done it. I'll get onto it today. I do apologise. I'm always the same. I just get behind with all of it. And sooner or later, as soon as the electrician comes, okay, we got to have a hard cable go into the undisclosed location, and we are working on that, and we'll be doing some live streams on that. Andy Callum has been working with me to ensure that when we do a podcast, we do it really well in there. Kuram Chaudhry says, I'm currently bogged down doing my porcelain driveway. It's about 65 square meters. That's a big old driveway, Kuram. That is a big driveway. Is that an average sized driveway, John Ward? What do you actually think of that? What's the average driveway in the country? How big would it be? How many people have driveways? Where do people park? And obviously with more people living at home now, because young people can't afford the houses, is that they got to park on the road. You see sometimes when you go down a road, there is nowhere for parking because they've opened up the garden wall, they've put the drop curbs in, and then where the lawn was in the front, that's being used for a parking space as well. The Big Suggs says, good morning, the Big Suggs, great name, love the names on here, absolutely fantastic. Love to know your personal name and know where you're from and what you're doing. Sick of Lies says, I can't keep it, the problem is matching the colour after. Yeah, absolutely. Phil Shaw, good morning, bud, how's it going? is saying good morning. Just reading some of the comments. It's easier reading from here than what it is from there because I can actually see it nice and clear. It's because you have too much trying to do. I know what they're on about now. Don't forget to give us a like. Don't forget to give us a like. Yeah, absolutely. A big thumbs up from Rob Fry there. Remember, we've got 29 live viewers. We got 19 thumbs up. Let's have a few more thumbs up. I've been working at Dan this week. Dan Price. Cracking guy, cracking family, and we need to deliver. And we need to deliver because they're paying for it, but we need to deliver in the right manner. And we need to consider our clients when we're working and to ensure that they're getting good service. Good service is so important. And we make that service, and that's what we do. And when I have conversations with some of these merchants, some of the area directors sometimes, they'll say to me quite regularly, they'll say, John, you have great service when you come in here in our branch. I say, yeah, I do, but I actually created that service. I actually created the ambience when I go in these places and I speak to people. Carol Herman's joined us. Carol, good morning. I like these little emojis. It's great that we're able to do it now. I just going to pick an emoji and I'm going to send one there to Carol. I don't know if what it is because I can't see, but it's good to see. What is that? It's a little person or something. Carol's giving me a wave. How do you get? Oh, you got people on here as well. So you need to. Oh, there. I can just scroll down here, and we've got lots and lots of little symbols and emojis so we can share with you. But just to let you know, Andy Callum has been working on something really special. When we get in the undisclosed location, we're going to have various cameras going on. Gonna have a sip of this tea. How many of you guys and girls actually have a cup of tea first thing in the morning, a cup of coffee when you get out and about? Gareth Jones, good morning. Gareth, good to see you. Rob Fry says, Johnyboy doing a dab. What's a dab? I don't even know what a dab is, Rob. What is a dab? Carolyn said, it's a thumbs up. Right. Is that what it is? This is funny. I love all this. Sick Lives, where are at the moment the best place to get wood as a price where I am as shot up 50%. Oh my God, 50%. Do you know, that is absolutely ridiculous. 50%. We still talk about these things. We still need to talk about what's current, what's going on, about supplies. Like I said, I want to get some t-shirts to you guys and get some shirts out. You know, what do we put on the t-shirts? What do you want on the t-shirts? Should it be Landscaping Survival? Should it be Green Top? Should it be Saturday Morning Live with Johnyboy? But either way, we're going to work that out and we're going to have some shirts in here. But what's happening at the moment, currently, it's difficult to get our shirts to get them printed. Short supplies at the moment. Scope number 1, morning Johnyboy. I laid a sandstone patio with 4:1 mix with a 6mm gap. Use jointed, simple, but wouldn't set. When researched this, it's because it's not a permeable base. Any advice? No. Well, first of all, you laid the sandstone 6mm gap. That's a tight old gap, and I don't know how you actually got that grout, that brushing grout in. Look, listen, I think brushing grouts work, but you got to have a permeable bed. It's not on a permeable bed. Well, that's the problem, you see. And the thing is, with a lot of brushing grouts, I think they can work. If you look at the samples, when you go into the merchants, the samples are solid, okay? They are absolutely solid. So that is the product from that, but it's compacted. The best way with anything to give it strength is through a compaction. I've talked about this many, many times. John Fullerton says, got to have a latte first thing in the morning. Yeah, I like a cappuccino personally, John. But we're talking about brushing grouts, and he's talking about jointed. I think 6mm gap is a tight gap. You can't get the grout down. You need to compact it. And obviously, the more compaction you get, the less permeable it is. But all jointing systems generally, right, have some sort of porosity with it, but it depends what the porosity is. Certainly with cementatious grouts, they have a porosity value, so some of the water will go through, but not as much as a brushing grout. And brushing grouts do work. They do work, and they're suitable for certain people, okay? Some people don't use them. Some people like them. Some people think they're okay. I think the beauty about a brush and grout is that you can take it out in the future and redo it. But what you don't want is water ingressing underneath the paving unless you've got a permeable bed and it keeps migrating down and moving away. You've got to keep that water moving. So important. Work your joint compound 10 to 15 mil for me personally. There we are. This is what this channel is about. I keep reminding people. We have people that ask questions then about the permeable bed, and already straight away you can see Sick of Lies says, work your joint compound 10 to 15 millimeters for me personally. Absolutely. I think it's there you are. There's the advice. Listen to what's going on. Lee Andy says, hi Alison, hope all is well. Be good to see, get Lee down here. If you're a contractor on here now this morning, I want to see 22 likes. Absolutely fantastic. Look at that. Brilliant. I'll never even ask for it. If you're a contractor on here this morning, is there a way that you can get the name of your business up on these comments now or later on? Because I think with the live stream, they don't show when it goes up on the channel later. When the live stream's over, right, I don't believe that the actual comments are on there now. So what I'd like is for you guys, maybe if it's possible, after the live stream, go back to the video and just do a comment on who you are, where you're from, and say something a little bit about the channel. It'd be great to do that. And I am working really hard at the moment to try and get companies to support this channel. ITS is behind us massively at the moment. They've got a great range of workwear on, and I'm not getting paid to say that, so don't worry. I'm not getting paid to talk about workwear, but they got a great range of workwear on. I've had in the back of my van some workwear, right, that's just been hanging up, and all it's doing is gathering condensation in the van. It's not a good thing to do. So all that's been taken out yesterday. I've taken some of the old boarding on the side, which is just like fiberboard, and I'm going to be putting some more ply up, and I'm going to reconfigure the van today. But I've also got about 7 tons of logs to cut up at some point. John Ruddleton says, large mug of tea, 2 toasted bagels, and I'm good to go. Ha ha! That's what we're talking about. I wonder if Debbie McGee has seen that this morning, because hopefully I'll be having some, maybe a bacon breakfast sarnie or something at some time. David Graham, me too, David. Yeah. Look, she needs to get at the shop. Come on, let's get sorted. Look, guys, it's great having you on here, but that's the thing that I was going to say. It'd be good if you could just go back to the video once this live stream's after and just put a comment on there on anything at all, because they don't come up. I'm not quite sure why that is at the moment. Hey, look, I was just talking about leaf change at the moment, and the colloid and the starch is changing. The trees are absolutely fantastic. When you look at those trees, liquid amber is a fantastic tree to have it in a garden because of its autumn colours. It's absolutely wonderful. Bacon cooking, she says. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's great to see the leaf changes, and when the light starts shining through, it's absolutely wonderful. And that's what we have to think as a contractor. If you're a hard building landscaper, you do the hardscapes, that's absolutely fine. But it's always good to know your trees in your garden, and it's so important. Liquid amber Gladitia tricanthos, which has an aureus coloured leaf, is absolutely fantastic. Any sort of acer is going to have some leaf changes in the leaves, whether you go for those really sort of autumn red colours or like the oranges. Some leaves do a number of things, but think about what you're putting in the gardens. Look, 23 likes, absolutely fantastic. I wonder, I was just wondering, are any of the stalkers that give the channel a dislike, are they on this morning? I presume they are. It would be really good to actually see. It'd be good for YouTube to actually, if you gave something a dislike, that they have to say who they are, and certainly it's not nice when people say things or do things without actually justifying their dissatisfaction of you or whatever you're doing. Andy Jackson says, good morning, Johnyboy. And chat. There we are. Andy Jackson. There's a great bunch of people on here at the moment that's joining us, and it's great to see the ladies as well joining and sharing, and talking about everything. Look, it's so important. I know it's difficult. to actually type things in quantity, but let's get some information. There we are. Scoob number 1. That's what I want to see. Look at this. It'll come up on here in a moment. He says, thanks, Johnny. Anyone suggest a product I could now use just after a normal grout I can work in? The Sandstone did have machined edges. Well, there you are. He says, Scope number 1 says, thanks, Johnny. Any suggest a product I could now use just after a normal grout I can work in? The Sandstone did have machined edges. It'd be good to know before we actually start recommending. You can use the 2-part ones, obviously, that are out there. There's many products out there. Aspects to a 2-part one, but you just need to know how to use them. And there's nothing worse when you get to that point when you've laid your paving, you've done all the hard work, and it's great to see, and it's looking good, and then you've got to point it. The pointing has always been a difficult thing for a lot of people to do. David Graham says, regarding Type 1 Subbase, how far should it extend by the edge of the finished patio edge to make sure the edge is solid? Well, first of all, I think, David, is obviously the depth of your laying mortar shouldn't really be no more than 50 mil. Okay, so if you're increasing it, obviously you need your Subbase a little bit further away. But I would think about 4 inches from the edge, at least 4 inches. Depends if you're going to have a picture frame in as well, but you do need something. It needs to be compacted, and it depends. Always think about patios and edging restraints, because what you don't want, and this is what a lot of people actually miss, is that when you lay, just imagine when you've got your house and you've got a couple of slabs, new build, for example, and you've got a lawn, and you go on that little patio that the builders have put in, and then you dig into your lawn, you put a new patio in, and what people don't think about is, in theory, what you're doing, you're pushing all the moisture, the potential moisture, back into a smaller area, and that's when you have a concentration, especially if it's coming to the house, that's sitting on the edge of your patio. Okay, sitting on the edge of your patio. And what you don't want is water ingression in a horizontal format working across your bed. Okay, and that's what happens, and that's not good at all. Just trying to, why do people have to dislike? Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. It's just, why make that effort in the first place? We just need some responses on here, and help me out here. I'm just reading what David says there about the Type 1. Sickfly says, one of my most important bits of kit is my tipper, best money saver I got when I started out. It's the only type of vehicle I buy now. Do you know, that is a massive interesting point, because for me, if I had a tipper, I'd be in trouble, because I'd probably put too much in it, and that's why I don't have a tipper no more, is because I have had a tipper before, and I had a Ford, but I had a Bedford TK. I wonder if John Ward can remember what that is. Alison, glad to hear you. Yeah, and we'll have to pop down and see you all soon. Yeah, absolutely. Dan Price says, are porcelain slabs always susceptible to corner damage? Only when you're moving around, Dan. Only when you're moving them around. When they're grouted, they should be fine. It's no problem at all. Scope 1 says, don't fancy trying those 2-part ones. They look very stressful to use. Those for the professional, I think. Yeah, but it doesn't mean to say that you can't do it, Scope. Like, you know, Rob Fry says, if you don't like, don't watch. Thank you very much. I agree. It's great when we pop around about the conversation, because people are joining at different stages, and by the time their comment comes up, somebody else has said something else. Rob Fryer says, I have a Volkswagen Caddy, and it's just enough for my tools, mixer, etc. And sometimes that's enough. What I try to do is get most of my materials delivered. On Dan's currently at the moment, what we didn't want is bags and bags of sand or Type 1 up there. We've had the Type 1 delivered by Allen Councils over in Cwmbran. Great service, and they'll do specific amounts of quantities of product that you're actually looking for. But also, what I do is that I've got a new trailer coming soon, and I do tend to pull the trailer on the back of the van, because I don't like putting the bags of sand in the back of the van. But I am having to do it at the moment because I haven't got my trailer there. And certainly in some situations where you haven't got a lot of space, having the van, having the trailer, it's a great distance. But I'd be okay with that. And you got to think, you don't only pull in too much round all the time because you're going to be burning your clutch out. It's all about maintenance. So, but I do use, the trouble is about sand in the back of the van is that it's very salty. And this is sometimes what causes the problems through efflorescence. It's the solubles, the minerals that start wicking up that cause the problems. So for me, I don't want my van ruined because of the sand. So I try to get it quick as possible and I wash it down because it will rush your van. But it's good to use a pickup truck because you don't want to ruin it. The trouble is, there's tools that the landscapers use, that you don't want to be putting on the back of the. I know some guys have crew cabs and they put the stuff in there, but you do need space when you think of the tools that you're carrying around, and sometimes you don't need it there. Rob Fry says he has a caddy. Tom Connolly says, morning JB, never mind the people who give a thumb down. They need to get a life. Haters going to hate. We love your shows here in Ireland. Tom Connolly, we love you as well. And it's great to have the Irish on here always. Going over to Ireland a few times, really enjoyed it. And great people. Hey, great people, great places. Lee Andy says, love my caddy. Lee says, yeah. Shane O'D says, good to see you, still passionate as ever, John. Thank you very much, Shane O'D, for that. Scope One says, I saw the VDW 815 2-part that looked interesting. Lots and lots of water, so looked easy to use. What is that? The VDW 815? I don't know what that is, Dave. But looking to see if anyone else has any experience. David Graham's got one up there. The VDW 815 2-part. Be good to see what that is. I'm going to check that out. VDW 815. Just going to write that down and take a little note of that. But not right on Alison's post-it note there. Has she got the post-it note over here? There we go. One post-it note. Let me have a look. David, I wonder what that is. Let's have a look. See, let's write that down. There we are. Get that down. So important. VDW 815. Liftweight says, anyone used easy click base system for Sandstone or Porcelain? No cement mixer needed. Liftweights. Well, I've seen it gone down. I know we visited David Eastgate's job in Sudbury, I think it was, and it looked absolutely fantastic. It looked good. I think you've got to think about what grout system is the most important thing with that to ensure that you don't get any cracking at all in your surface if it should move. Sicker Lives Type 1 Juicens £43 for 800 kilogram quarry, £17 a ton. Massive difference, big savings. And yeah, certainly without a doubt. Dan Price, John Ward says, rusted my van carrying sand, lads. So wash out and clean is the key. That's why we got a pickup. Yeah, do you know, John, you're so right, and that's the point I was picking on. If I have bags in the back, I shovel it out straight away, but I always wash it down, put the van on a bit of an incline, and then always make sure we get everything out. Sick of Lies, Irish, some of the best ground workers in the world. Yeah, without a doubt. I work with them without a shadow of a doubt. David Graham says, epoxy grout, John. Yeah. Do you know, there's so many systems out there at the moment, and I think everybody's sort of jumping on board, producing products. Try and stick with a company that has been doing it a while, okay, and have that experience. Work with a company and use a company that's going to certainly, you know, deal with any issues or problems that you may have should they arise. That's what you got to think of. Dan Price says, maybe grout will mask the minor chips. Dry a weak head so can take a closer look. Yeah, absolutely. Dan, don't worry. If there are any chips in any places, we just take them out, and just got to watch it because they do scab off and they're not good at all. Some of the little ones aren't so bad, but that's why they put those corner pieces on. But you got to, yeah. Hey Dan, I'll tell you now, mate. Yesterday turned out to be a good day, but it was good just to leave it, get cleaned up, and take stock of where we are and what we're doing. 31 viewers at the moment, 29 likes, absolutely fantastic. If you want to call in now, it would be great to have somebody on here. If you want to call in, we haven't done a call in for a while. I haven't set any up for a while because I'm always busy in the week, working with my clients and working with my customers. But you can call in this morning on 07795 664 002. I'm going to put that down on here now so you can actually see it. I forgot about 07795 664 002. There's the number if you want to call in now. I've never been able to do this before, but as I said, Andy Callum, who's a fan of the green top landscape, and he's going to be putting something together. He's got this great app. We practiced it this week and it's working, and we'll be able to have multiple multiple cameras, views up in the undisclosed location. Finished tea, better make another one. Yeah, I need one, but I'm going to get one at the moment. John Ward says, build the motorways and cities, hardworking Irish, worked with them when I was a younger, great nation. Yeah, absolutely. I'll tell you something now. I remember a young lad many years ago. I had a short spell in the military as a young kid. It didn't work out for me, but I moved up to Essex and I worked with a company called Peter Hughes. They were from Coventry, but originally they were from out in Southern Ireland, and they were absolutely fantastic guys, 27 of them, and it was me and one other local lad, and we were just as keen and fit and healthy, and just like them, and I think that's why it worked with them. And we were doing open cut down the street, and they were really hard workers. I mean, they'd done things that many wouldn't do today, and if I had to do it again, I would do it without a shadow of a doubt. Andy Jackson says, Johnyboy, can you touch on sealing Indian sandstone? Yes or no? Some say do it, some say it can seal in the salt, etc., cause staining. Cheers. Andy, you can seal anything you like, and you can seal sandstone. What you don't want to be using a topical sealer. A topical sealer is almost like a varnish, and it doesn't allow the sandstone to breathe. Sandstone is a natural mineral, a natural product, and it needs to breathe. The minerals, and it just needs to, the moisture needs to migrate through the stone. I worked for a guy last year, Andy, and a young lady, Rebecca and Ryan. They run a company called Element Shield. Okay, they're developing their own sealers now. They've got one water-based sealer. The only thing about the water-based sealer, it's a water-based breathable sealer. But what happens is that you can put a couple of coats on, and then that's it for a couple of years. You can't put no more because it's a water-based sealer. It repels the water. But they are producing, as we speak, a solvent sealer, but it needs to be breathable. And certainly, even with porcelain, though porcelain is man-made, it's not just the unit that you're sealing the actual grout as well. So if you've got a cementitious grout between those joints, it needs to breathe. But also what you've got to remember is that if you're in a shaded area, not in the sun, and certainly with the precipitation we have in this country, is that you're going to get greening, okay? And you can clean off your porcelain, no problem at all, though porcelain has micropores. I talked about this before. It's like glass. You've got to clean your glass. Glass has micropores. Everything gets dirty. And when you seal the porcelain, you're also sealing the cementitious grout, and you don't want that grout system going green. So solvent seal, water-based sealer, but they need to be breathable. They're better. They're much better. Just going back to reading what people say now, just getting on. This is a lot easier. Andy Jackson, if anybody wants to have a chat to me after this live stream, I always take a call after the live stream, always, right? And I'm always available. The number is 07795 595 994. I'm going to put that on now. If you want to give me a call after the live stream, 795 595 994. That is my number if you want to give me a call, Andy, after this live stream. Don't know if it just come up there. There we are. It's on there. Just going to read what people are saying now. So important to touch on what everyone is saying. NTAB says, "Hey John, did my patio here thanks to your videos." Hey, I'd love to see a picture. If you can just, there's my number. If anybody wants to be sending a picture of any jobs that they've done or anything, just send it through on WhatsApp, and I'll make sure that I'll save your name as well. Just drop us a message, no problem. Mario Rizzi, Sandstone, leave for 8 weeks before seeing. And yeah, that's the massive point. This is what this channel's about, is that straight away people are just reminding us of some of the things that we should be saying. And probably a little bit longer, just depends how good it's dried out. But that is a fair point, Mario. Thank you very much for that. John Ruddleson said, had a poor ton of ballast delivered, full of broken anything, including glass, called them back to pick it up. Full refund. Seems to be getting difficult to acquire good ballast. John Ruddleson, look, we don't want to name and shame anyone, but that's not good at all. I've never realised that people's quality. I've never even thought of that before. But obviously, sometimes you don't get so much fines in the ballast sometimes, and that's not good. You don't want those bigger lumps, and you want a good mixture of ballast, and sometimes you just seem to be having the dregs of all the big stuff sometimes, and that won't bind together. But John Rolston says there, full of broken everything, including glass. Well, that's not good at all. John, we don't want to name and shame anyone, but I'll be interested to know where you got that from. What is the best landscape design software? Well, I'm going to be moving on to what I see everybody using is SketchUp. Feroz. I hope I said that correctly. I'm not quite sure whether I did or not. I do apologise. SketchUp, but there are other CAD systems as well that people are using. Just get rid of that. That's gone. Tony Wildburn says, what's your thoughts on laying over existing concrete with sandstone? Almost resin pointing needs a permeable base. Also, most resin, yeah, absolutely. I think the thing is, what you've got to remember is that everything's got a porosity in some respects, and certainly concrete's, well, not everything, but concrete's got a porosity value. And that's why I always use a lean mix, because it doesn't move. If you're going over concrete, it depends what the visual is. You just need to do that visual. You can go over it, but if you're using a permeable product, that's not good at all. You just can't use a permeable jointing product for that concrete, Tony. If you want to have a chat, there's my number on there. Give us a ring after. Happy to talk you through it. It's always difficult to try and sort of process everybody's questions and comments as they're coming through, simply because I'm reading everything, looking at everything, and I'm bouncing all over the shop here. There's a few things for my business. What is the best landscape software for my business? I would go with SketchUp, and I think it does work, and it's a good one. Cheers, Johnny. Great explanation. Well, I hope so, Andy Jackson. I hope I did explain that right. Andy, whereabouts in the country are you? I want to know where you're from. Lee Andy said, how's the garage going? You in there working this afternoon? Yeah, I am, Lee. I've got lots to do in there, but what I've got to do is that I've bought some ply and I'm fitting the van out a little bit more. Honestly, since Ryan's arrived, Lee, he says I'm a hoarder, okay? And how many of you guys and girls have actually got tools in your toolbox that you don't use? They've been there for years. And would you keep them? Do we need them? It's a nightmare. You'd never want to throw them away, or do you want to give them to somebody that make use of them because you're not using them? But the garage is coming on. It is working, but it's a sunny day today. I'm going to get in that van later on, and I'm going to be doing, after my breakfast if I get any, and I'm going to be fitting that van out. I'm going to try and be more efficient. There's nothing worse when you go in the van, and I always use a bucket full when I've got my trowel and my chisel, my hammer, my bolster, and my lines and my pins, and they all go in one bucket like we used to years ago, level over the top, walk across site with a bucket on the back. That's how I used to do it. And you want to be going in and out of the van with those tools, but for some reason we keep acquiring more tools because we can't find them, because things get a mess. It's not good at all. So I'm going to be sharing a picture later on of the van and show you how it's coming on. Same as NTAB, done my patio with help from the videos. We'll try send a picture. It'd be good to see, bud. Brickright, there's Justin. How you doing, Just? How's the boys? Been having a look at the videos. Out on the work, just tuned in. Hope everyone is well. Yeah, Justin, thanks for joining. Justin is a YouTuber. He's down there in Cardiff. In Wales doing work, and he's a great guy, and we'd be good to sort of, if you can just tune in and have a look at Brickright's channel and have a look at it. David Graham says, if getting lean mix pre-made, what do you need to ask for? You just need to ask for a lean mix, or a dry lean, as we used to call it. Dry lean or a lean mix, David Graham. David, if you want to have a chat to me after, give us a call. My number's on there, 07795 595 994. Always happy to take a call after the live stream. Do you have a link to the CAD system, John? To be honest, I don't, bud, and I'd have to get on there and have a look. But certainly, what was the name of that landscaping software? SketchUp. There's loads out there. Just go online and have a look and design SketchUp. John Ward says, yep, key is boys. Permeable ground. Your base must be porous as well. Concrete lab isn't. It isn't. It's just not, and that's the thing. You got to think about the water holding, because it's the water. Water causes problems. Just think about what you're doing. If anybody wants, if anybody wants to talk to me about it, because we're covering a lot of things here, have you guys got any recommendations for resin pointing when laying over concrete? The two-part ones seemed to stain. Yeah, you just got to... Tony, what they say basically about two-part products is that any sort of anything sat on the top does burn off in the sun. They say it does go. But what you need to do, because this is the problem, there are so many products out there at the moment, and there's not enough information on there. And this is why companies need to have training videos on how to install these products. It's so important, and if any of you companies are watching this morning, you need to do some training and not just sell products. You need to give the information. You need to be a little bit more accountable about your products, and not just have it's all about videos now, isn't it? That's what it's about. It's all about the videos and getting the information out there, and and just putting it on the back of the package and follow the instructions is just not enough. It's just not enough. We need videos. And I'm more than happy if there are companies want me to help them with a video on explanation on anything. I can do it. Instructional videos are the best way forward. They work. And that's why Alison's better at DIY now than I am. John Roderson says, don't want to shame anyone as other aggregates have been okay. I was told it was due to quarries closing. Also, other aggregates are being substituted to bulk by the mix. John Roderson, I totally agree with you. There's always an explanation for these things, and we don't want to name and shame anyone, unlike a lot of people do on the internet without just cause. Can't wait to see it, buddy. Lee, you need to come down here. Clean mine last week, back at a mess already. Brilliant. P.S. Is Debbie McGee camera shy? Well, she used to be, and she would be on here because she likes everything to look right, and she'd want to come on here and just make sure. And we will get her on the camera. We've had her on the camera before, but no, she's not camera shy sometimes. It's when it suits her. It's when it suits her. Her confidence goes through the roof sometimes, and probably too much. I watch Justin's channel also. He gives his big mates a hard time about eating. Very funny. Yeah, good. Isn't it good to have... This is the thing. Isn't it good to have a bit of humour when people are producing these videos and getting things out there? It's fantastic, isn't it? Bit of humour. It's not just all about the how-tos. Morning, Tom. We've got to have a laugh. Yeah, you have, without a shadow of a doubt. It's about a bit of fun, about being engaging and sharing what you're doing. As I said, if you want to give me a call, I'm going to get on here again. I'm going to put the number in. It's 07795 664 If you want to give me a call now, you can. It's up to you, no problem at all. David Capel, could you do a piece on pricing? Do you use a computer-based system, or do you do it based on your experience with a pencil and a calculator? Always time-consuming. Keep up the good work. Always good to watch. Lee Andy says we need to do a live. You both on would be amazing. Yeah, we will do. Top Notch. Good morning, bud. How's it going up there in Watford? I remember Top Notch. That was a great picture the other week of the cafe. Are you in that cafe today? Yeah, pricing. Pricing is so important. Everybody has a different way of pricing, and I spoke about this so many times before. Scope, I've just had your message come through. Thanks for that. Let's have a look at it. Pricing, it's not difficult, is it? You've got to base your pricing on your ability to live, where you live, and what your outgoings are. You need to know what your outgoings are. It's as simple as that. And some people say, well, no, I don't need to. Yeah, you do. You'd be shocked. You'd be absolutely shocked. If you knew what your outgoings were, you'd be actually shocked. You need to write down everything. If you rent, if you've got a mortgage, if you're running one car, two cars, and if you're in business, your wife's wages shouldn't just be for your business, okay? It's not, your business shouldn't be accommodated by your wife's wages, basically. So there's lots of things to consider, but pricing, you need to be thorough with it. Everything, you need to be methodical. Yes, there are times when you can actually look at a job and you think, yeah, it's going to be this amount. Yeah, you can guess it. But it's not about guessing, is it really? You need to write it down. You need to take measurements, length by width, and then you need to measure the depth. You need to know how much you need to dig down. And then where the experience comes in is knowing what type of ground that you've got there, okay? Whether you can use some of the other recycled products that are on site. Can you recycle it, Lots of detail in producing a quote, and it is the attention to the detail. It is about the belts and braces, but what you first need to identify is your outgoings, okay? And too often, just too often, what people do is they base their prices on other people's prices. And I'm more than happy to go and go and do a video, certainly not on a live, I could do it on a live stream, we've done it before. I don't know if any of you guys have actually seen on Facebook. If you're on Facebook, I run a Facebook group called Landscape Survival with Johnyboy, and we do a thing called Whiteboard Wednesday. I haven't done it for a while, and we went through a pricing exercise, and prices are always, there's so many variables in pricing, but you just need to sit down and you have to think, identify your outgoings, okay? Identify your outgoings, because you cannot price without knowing what your outgoings are. That's the first thing that you need to identify. I'll talk about that again in a minute, but I just want to read what people are actually saying there. JB, what does MOT stand for when you're talking about aggregate size? What does
Tell him to send an email and we'll do a Zoom on it. So it's private then. Zoom on pricing. We can arrange a Zoom meeting.
Yeah, Debbie McGee's just come in and just spoke to me now, and she said that what we can actually do, if I don't know who actually asked on the pricing there. It was David Campbell. Dave, if you want to do a Zoom meet with us in the future, I'm going to go back to John Ward in a moment. What Alison said, or Debbie McGee said, that we can go through you on a Zoom meet, and we can help you through that way. We're more than happy to help. So important that you get it right. You don't want to get it wrong. If you want to do a Zoom meet with us, we can take you, and Alison take you through the process about pricing. The most important thing is value yourself. MOT. Where are we now? Ministry of Transport, MOT. It's an old term that was used about, so you can get MOT type 1, 2, 3 and 4. So it's the different sizes and what the aggregate size that you're going to have. So generally you're going to go up to about 40 mil. You can get clean as well. So MOT, Ministry of Transport. So many things coming in now. I started my garden back in June. I'm halfway through, 65 metres of patio and paving and limestone, false lawn. artificial grass, obviously, 40 square meters, long sleeper, planter beds, block rendered, planter 2, open to do a water feature. My God, there's a lot going on. I love the gardens when we're working in gardens when they got a bit of everything. I just don't just want to do patios. I want to get involved in the water features, the pergola, the planting, the raised beds, anything that you do in the garden. Yeah, it'd be great to see a picture of that. It'd be fantastic. Spending time pricing. Never let a customer lead you with advice. Use your experience, otherwise you will run in trouble, I find. Yeah, absolutely. Never ever let a customer lead you on what the prices is. If they ask you for an idea, a rough idea there and then, don't do it. Just don't say it. Say, I'm sorry, but I need to sit down and work this out. I've taken all your measurements in your garden, what you're looking for. I need to chase up some prices. And certainly at the moment, prices are just going up and down, generally on the up. But John makes a great point there. Don't let your customer lead you. And if you are a consumer watching this morning, don't try and lead your contractor. Just let them work it out roughly. Estimates take time. Rule of thumb: labor costs are roughly the same as materials. Yeah, that I get that, and we worked on that basis. But I think as your business grows, things will change. I think, Mario, I don't know what your opinion is on that, but certainly for us, we were roughly about that years ago, but it's not necessarily where we are now. Like the Penny Van video through, though, John and Alison. Yeah, Penny Van, absolutely wonderful. It's great to show you what I'm doing and what Alice and I do sometimes on the personal side of things when we're out and about and walking. Just want to show you the other side to us as a family-run business. So important to show that on the videos as what we do with our customer. Kurum Chowdhury says, isn't 140 mil down to the dust? Yeah, you got it, absolutely. I'm sorry about that, but I'm just running away with things at the moment. A lot of messages coming in. So far, spent £7,000 on materials alone, and as I'm doing it myself, the price would double, I think. Yeah, it probably would. In some cases, more than double, but it's good. I'd love to see what you're doing there, bud, in your garden. Send pictures when finished next June, maybe, lol. We want to see what you're doing. Lovely couple, boys down in Wales. Justin from Brickwright is one. You're a lovely guy as well, John. It's great to pay a compliment to a gentleman as well. We will meet soon one day. Thoughts on laying in winter? Well, look, you just got to protect your materials. Last year in Abervale, I mean, it was freezing, it was cold, it was wet, we had everything going on up there, and I was able to do it because I made sure that the sand and the products that I was using wasn't contaminated with any ice whatsoever. We had a fire on regular up there, to be honest, and that's the way we got it around it. We protected it, we covered up. So what we didn't have was the water going down on it and freezing the next day. So you can protect your products. And I could go back to that job now, and it was absolutely solid. And you can tell at certain times of the year, your mortar won't go off as quickly as what it does at certain times of the year. And to be honest, you don't want it going off too fast either, because if it dries too quick, that's not a good thing as well. So you've got to try find the happy medium, and certainly working on Dan's at the moment, we're using what I call the magic mix. I put very little water in it, and certainly through the rain, what you don't want is that when you've laid this time of the year and you leave the job and you go from it and it starts raining on your patio when you're left, your mortar's going to get a lot of water on it, and it's not good at all. So I used a semi-dry screed, really, to be honest. It's got the right moisture in there. I'm still using the slurry, and basically the moisture comes in through the ground. You don't need, just reduce the amounts of water on there. I think the trouble is we've all done it at some point. We put too much water in our mixes, and that's why I call it the magic mix. Justin from Brickwright says, good support all over. And John, you're a top man as well, mate. Getting some compliments this morning. I really, really appreciate that. It'd be good to have you down here on a live stream. As soon as we finish that studio, we're just waiting on the electrician to get some lights on there, and we'll be good to go. We've got Andy Callum coming down, and he's going to set up the system. We're going to put a mobile tool chest in there with a nice top, so we can do the podcast from, and we'll be able to show some products on there. I've been going a long time, 60 minutes. I think that's about it. I need to wrap this up. Look, guys, thank you, all of you. 32 likes. I'm absolutely blown away by that. I'm not saying that's a record, but it's up there. Thank you all for joining, every one of you. You know, I'm not going to mention anyone now. You know who you are. You can see it. You've all taken part. I really appreciate it. You don't realize how you're helping other people on here with the information. This is not just about me, it's about you. That's it. I'm afraid it's over. A lot of comments still coming in, but I've got some breakfast to get to. We will get Alison doing a live stream at some point with us. You can meet Mrs. McGee. Thank you for the thumbs up. I'm just going to quickly request, if you could kindly please go to the video once this is ended and maybe just post a comment on the video. That'd be great, and give it a thumbs up on there. I think how YouTube do it is a little bit different, but if you can do that, I'd appreciate it. I've really enjoyed sort of being able to see the message on. I'm just gonna see if I can just find a little emoji. It's quite funny what you can do on here, isn't it, really? There we are. This is what you guys mean to me, and really appreciate it. And it's just blown away by you guys. Big love out to all of you. Thanks for joining. Lots of things to say. Don't forget, get over to the ITS website. They are supporters of the channel. They will be giving a lot more away in the future. If you haven't had your thank you, Lee. If you haven't had your tool bag, who's ever watching, I will go through and I will check the emails. I'll get your tool bags out. I need some help before you go. I need some help. I've got that the Einhal breaker that I want to give away, and I want some help. I want somebody to help me and get involved in giving that breaker away. It's here. I just got to get it out there. We're gonna push this a little bit, and then we're gonna try and get some more product for you guys. Listen, thanks for the love arts, and really thanks for the support. As usual, we're going to be back next week. I'm not going to get all soppy. Thanks for joining. Thank you to ITS. Thank you, all of you. Have a great weekend. It's a great day out there. I hope it's a great weather for you next week. It looks like it's drying up. So thanks for joining the live stream. Have a great weekend. Have a great week. If you need any help, just give us a call. See you soon. Thank you, Mario. All the best. Take care. Bye-bye.